I may have the perfect accessory that you could pair with your Starlink Mini, especially for you backpackers, expeditionists, hunters, backcountry boys, whatever it is. This might be the new addition to your kit. This right here is the Omnicharge Omni 40 Plus. Now I'm gonna start this off by saying this is a product that I personally bought. This video is not sponsored by any means. This is something that I used up in Alaska, both Aubrey and I, and this is as real as a review can get. So what this is, simply put, is it's a battery bank, or a battery solution as some people will call it. And as you can tell, it's probably bigger than most of the ones you'll see online doing reviews, unless you're looking at some of those big old like house running batteries that are, I mean, massive. But this is, I would say, a happy medium. And the reason I say that is because number one, right there you have an AC port as well as a DC port. On the front, you have all your typical USB-Cs as well as USBs. I mean, really, this thing has pretty much everything you're gonna need when you're in the backcountry, or you're up in the mountains, or you're out in a ground blind, deer hunting, whatever it is, whatever you might be doing, backpacking, camping, all of it. If you don't have access to super easy power, like a generator or literally your power line running to your house, pretty good option right here. And the reason I'm saying this is, number one, we tested it, we reviewed it, we used it. We're not coming at you like, oh wow, we just got this in the mail. It has all the ports we like and it works great here at home. A while back, we did a review on the Starlink Mini unit with this battery, and that was before we left for Alaska. So now that we're back from Alaska, we've put it through its test. It's been rained on, it's been sat out in the tundra for hours, beaten on in the sun, including solar charged for the entire trip that we were there whenever we would have sun. I mean, it's Alaska. It's kind of asking for a lot if I'm being honest with you. However, now that we have this field tested product, I want to give you our honest review. Starting off, I just want to go over the product itself to give you guys a better idea of exactly what this is. So the Omni 40 Plus, there's also an Omni 40 Plus C, I believe. It comes in at $400, so it's an expensive little battery unit. I admit that I would probably have a hard time spending that much on a battery unit unless I knew it did all of the stuff that this battery unit does, including the capacity of it. So what this unit has is it has your AC port, like a wall port. You have your DC port. If you want to know more about the DC port, I would recommend looking at their webpage or one of their actual sites that explain what DC port is, because if I'm being honest with you, I don't understand all the DC stuff yet. I'm still learning that side of things. However, on the front of it, we have 3 USB-C ports, 2 USBs, a little screen there, 2 arrows, and a power button. And what's nice about this is it's not just one of those that slowly die over a very long time. This usually stays at, I would say you probably maybe lose 1% a day from what I've realized. And the reason it does that is to help, I believe, save battery life over time and continue the wear and tear on the battery so it's more efficient over a longer time, as far as I understand. So one of the really unique things about this, though, that I will admit that, if I'm being honest with you, I probably won't ever use, but I still think it's cool that they added it, is this center USB-C. It's a 100-watt output USB-C. It's a 90-watt input USB-C. The other two don't do input, but they do output. But what this unit can do that most other battery solutions can't do is this middle one. If you plug it into your computer or your phone or any of your technology, essentially, you can put this into a USB-C hub mode. And what that does is essentially makes it so will allow you to use it essentially as just a USB-C hub, like you plug into the side of your laptop all the time. Just a fun little thing you can use. What we're looking at here is 38,400 milliamp hours or 142 watt hours. Now it's a pretty big number for a battery bank, not only this size, but also to travel with. Airline travel with this unit is extremely easy, even though it's over that sometimes 100 watt hour limit that some airlines have. This one specifically, when we went to Alaska, I let them know that it was in my bag, and they're like, oh, okay, awesome. That was it. That was the extent of me letting them know. Some airlines, I believe, will give you a little slip just in case. What is the width and what is the length? Not the depth. What's the width and length of it? Would it not be the same all the way around because it's a triangle?
No, it shouldn't be.
But would they not just take this being the, or would it be this to that then?
Yeah, it'd be from what you just pointed at.
But then depending on which way it's laying, would it not be different?
No, because it looks like it's an even triangle.
Because it's...
The problem is the triangle is not sharp, it is rounded. And
yeah, it's rounded.
Your length.
But wouldn't they just take the longest portion and that would be both the width and the length? Would that not be correct?
I don't think so.
Math's not mathing in my head on that one for some
To me, it
reason.
makes sense.
So we're looking at here 9.5 inches deep by 2.7 inches by 2.5 inches, whichever way you measure a triangle. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too sure with that one. This comes in at 2.35 pounds as the weight off of their website. I'm looking at it right here. Combined output of all the ports together would be 150 watts. We're looking at your AC port being 120 volt AC, 60 hertz, 100 watt max US conversion for us, or version for us, Americans here, or Canadians, depending. A lot of this stuff I would just, again, recommend if you're looking for really fine details, go check out their website. We'll have some of the stuff up here on the screen as far as finer details for USB-C and USB-A output settings. In this package that we ordered, it came with a hard case, a cable, and a charger. Now I don't have them here because if I'm being honest with you, I have the ones that I prefer that I like to take on trips. They're a little bit smaller. I didn't need a case for this because the case is quite large, and I think I already gave the case away to somebody else to use on something else. It's nice that they include it with it. They say it's worth over $100 of equipment there between the cable, the charger, and the case, but I don't know if it's value to you. That's fantastic because it's a 65 watt charger, which is fairly quick. This you can do 90 watt charging on, so if you have a bigger one or a better one that's maybe the same size, use it. I don't see why not. I like those really slim ones, the 65 watt, like super slim oones that have just like 2 USB-Cs. I know, I'm weird, I know. Nah. We can go over my travel case one day here. If you guys want to see that, let me know down in the comments, because that one will probably be a longer video because I overpack. I'm gonna be honest with you. Eddie behind the camera is shaking his head yes. The last thing I want to go over as far as specs go though is as far as recharging this unit, what it calls for is the AC wall charger that this unit comes with, which is just a 65 watt charger. It calls for under 3-hour charge time. With a solar panel up to 45 watts, we're looking at 3 to 6 hours. Same thing goes for a car power port, which is like your 12 volt that's in your car. And also your laptop adapter charger says that it can charge under 3 hours. So with the 90 watt input capabilities, as well as the DC port and everything else, you can charge this thing up pretty quick. If you have availability to power maybe overnight or something, and then during the day you take it on your adventure, where this kind of gets into our review as far as this unit goes, especially using solar power. So as far as official, unofficial review goes, I'm gonna start this off by saying, if you have a unit that requires AC power and you do a lot of, or DC power, and you do a lot of backpacking, expeditioning, hunting, whatever, camping, whatever it might be, whatever your thing is, I'm gonna recommend this to you. And the only reason I'm saying that is because these 2 ports right here, especially for me, the AC port, is incredible. Because there's a lot of times, I mean, we have some old, like ground zero, day zero, I don't remember at this point, but we have some of the nice kind of power packs. We have some of the old, not so nice kind of power packs. We have, I mean, a variety of them that my parents have used over the years. I've used on hunts and expeditions. Aubrey's used now, and between the size and weight of this one and the capacity, this is it. This is my go-to for the time being. And now the reason I say that is because, let's be honest, I would say in a good month, something new, something better is gonna come out. Let's be honest, it's the tech world. But I have a feeling, especially coming in at $400, unless it's something much cheaper that's better, I'm probably gonna stick with this, because I don't wanna put out that much money very often. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, we just got married, I'm trying to save money, I'm trying to do a lot better with saving, because as my dad likes to call me, a gadget guru, I like to buy things that I really shouldn't buy. I buy a lot of camera, techie things, even though we do a lot in the outdoors. And a lot of times, it just ends up sitting on my desk for a very long time. And I have a feeling Eddie can confirm this behind the camera.
Yes, very much so.
Anyhow, from what I've used, I do want to just start off by recommending this. Now, I'm going to start off with the pro list, in my opinion. The pro list, of course, kind of goes over everything we've touched on so far between your AC, your DC, having 3 USB-Cs and USB-A type A's. The capacities worked very nice. The biggest thing I used this for up in Alaska would be this AC port hooked up to our Starlink Mini. Now, I was seeing somewhere between probably 2.5 to 3.5 hours of usage before this would be essentially dead. Thankfully, we used some solar panels and every day we'd put them out. Every day we didn't have sun, but it would charge it quite a ways. I want to say it was a 45 watt solar panel. I have to double check that, but this worked very nicely for Alaska, and I think in most cases this worked very nicely nearly anywhere you go, as long as you have some sort of solar solution or generator or some sort after a couple days. Now, this isn't going to be a battery that you can probably run for a week straight and charge your phone and your cameras and your Starlink Mini or whatever else you got going on. We're in a kind of unique situation where we film a lot of our stuff, so we have to have access to some sort of power or backup for our batteries, for our cameras, for our phones, because we do a lot of phone filming now on a lot of certain hunts or even our action cameras, right? This really made it so I wasn't as stressed out about that, because I stress out about packing and especially worrying about batteries. To sum up our review as far as this product goes, it held up nicely. As far as cons go, I would say the biggest con is, I mean, you can say the size and the weight of it. It's not really too heavy, being under 3 pounds. For a big solution like this, that's not terrible, because I know we have ones that are less capacity than this that are much heavier. That's kind of you can weigh it 50-50%. The more capacity you have, the more weight you'll have. So you got to fight there, figure out whatever works for you. However, the biggest con, I would say, especially in a lot of backpacking and backcountry expeditions, you could say, is this AC port. It will not turn on. You will not have access to it unless you get this device to 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this is something that I did not realize. Maybe I didn't read through their website quite enough when I was looking at this originally or whatnot. But thankfully, I mean, we had our puffies. I would throw it in my puffy jacket for 30 minutes before I needed to use it, and it would heat up fairly quickly that way. But this device, the battery unit itself, needs to be 52 degrees Fahrenheit to be able to turn this AC port on. Unless I'm doing something wrong, and Omnicharge, if you're watching this and I'm saying something wrong, let us know, please, in the comments, because maybe I don't understand. But from my experience, I could not get the AC port to turn on under 52 degrees. I'm guessing that has something to do with the 100 watt output of it. Maybe it heats up too fast when it's cold. I'm not 100% sure, if I'm being honest with you. But the Omnicharge Omni 40 Plus, possibly the new go-to for Starlink Mini backcountry expeditions. If you guys like this review video and you guys want to see more of it, please let us know down in the comments. Like, subscribe. It helps us out a ton, especially for a small channel like this. We appreciate all of it. Any comments of stuff you like or don't like in these videos, if you want to know more, know less, if you don't want me to ramble as much like I am right now, let us know. But yeah, no, other than that, have a great week, everybody.
And cut.